Well, one is quite unfortunate, and secondly, I do not want to hold brief because I understand that the matter is in the courts. But generally speaking, I would think that our beloved and respected sister Senator Natasha has overreacted. Why do I say she has overreacted? She is a distinguished senator. She knows the rules of the House. She knows where to express and extend her complaint, and she hasn't done that. And for her to quickly run to the court means that she's generally saying that she lacks the confidence of her fellow senators who are in charge of discipline, who are in charge of ethics and the rules of the House. So I think she has overreacted because she would have explored the internal mechanism of the Senate before she can run to the outside. And it looks as if maybe the issue before the Senate is not even what is being on the emphasis, the issue of the sexual harassment. I think it's like building on what is not the foundation. The reaction is something that has to do with her presentation and the rules of the House. So if Mr. President, the Senate President says, can you order you? The rule says you have to be calm. And then even if there was issues, you can do that outside the sitting. So I think she has overreacted as a distinguished senator. So the matter before us is the way she felt the Senate President treated her when she was trying to express her opinion as a representative of her constituency in Kogi State. But I think the matter in emphasis shouldn't have been the one that is being blown. Because if there were sexual harassment, she would have uh, lifted it up before now, not using the issue of her conduct in the Senate and then trying to use it as what to gather sympathy. So I want to think that the distinguished senator has not done too well. She has overreacted. And then I also want to believe that the Senate will intervene and look at their internal mechanism. But going to the court, I think, is not necessary because she is in a community. She is in a system that has rules. So she should have explored that avenue before going to the court.
Okay, so let me take you back to 2024, sometime last year. Something like this also happened, though it wasn't as escalated as it is now, where she was also trying to air her opinion in a plenary sitting as this, and the Senate president has to shush her up, saying this is not a nightclub. The word, this is not a nightclub where you wear transparent clothes to and talk anyhow. And these were taken up by a group of female advocates and groups. So, seeing it repeat itself again, one would ask, why Natasha again? It's seeming like the issue is recurring, it's
Well,
constant.
yes,
I guess that is why this time around she decided to explore the part
no,
of
no, no, no,
the
no.
Senate.
If at the very instant that you refer to, if it was something that actually took place, I think the Senate still have the committee in charge of ethics. At that very point, she would have still laid her complaint. It's not the first time that the Senate president is being accused or indicted that goes through the issue of what do you call it, probe or interrogation, if I will use that word. So, if such a thing that happened and it was in her detriment, it affected her personality, it affected her position, I think she would have still reported. My own is that she should have explored the internal resolution mechanism in the National Assembly before going to the public.
Okay, so the wife of the Senate president has countersued Natasha after she sued her husband. Would you say this is in alignment with the law, seeing that she's not the one affected directly, but
No,
her husband,
you
and she
see,
went ahead
it's
to sue?
yes, because Natasha took the matter personal. Because if she took it as an official matter, she would have explored the internal mechanism of the Senate. At that point, the Senate President's wife wouldn't have stepped in because she's not a lawmaker, she's never a senator. But because the integrity of her husband as a person was affected, not his position. That's why she came out. And if you watch well, Natasha's husband have also came up. So it has left from official issue to personal issue. That's why I felt that the distinguished senator overreacted, because the matter should have been handled first inside the Senate, not to make it a personal matter. So she took it as a personal matter, and that was why, with all due respect, the wife of the Senate president would also want to come in, because it affects her personal life as a wife of the Senate president. So I think her reaction is the cause of most of these things. I do not want to say that the Senate president was right the way he treated her, but I think it is when the Senate committee on ethics or whatsoever steps in, they will be able to unravel why Mr. President did what he did to her.
So one last question. So many people have been clamoring for the Senate president to step down, stating that he is incapable of leading the Nigerian Senate. Would you want to support or disagree with this?
Well, it is very easy to know how to score a goal when you are not in the football team playing. So I think most who are saying are not experienced. If they were senators, I would have said maybe from their encounters and experience. So you cannot expect a motor park driver or a conductor who has no knowledge about the Senate plenaries to begin to judge Mr. President that he does not have what it takes to preside over the Senate. So I think that's a very misrepresentation. The Senate president has the capacity and is providing direction for the senators. He may not be perfect, but I think that to the best of his strength and agility and experience, he's doing that. So if senators do not find him worthy, I think the law is there for them to pass vote of no confidence or impeach him. But for a man on the street like you and I, who have no vote, his representation there as Senate president, first of all, will affect those who are senators before it affects me. So if they are comfortable with him, if a community is comfortable with their chief, you as an outsider, even if it's your clan, you cannot say that this village chief is not doing well. So I think Mr. President is trying his best. We need to wish him well. We are Nigerians that love to run people down, forgetting that one day you too will grow. Even in your little spheres of leadership, you know people are against you. No matter the best you do, people feel that you are not doing the best. So the best we encourage our leaders, the best we can move forward. We are all human. As leaders, as Senate president is human. If you encourage a man, you are telling him to do more better. So, but even if the little he has performed, even if he's not the best, your encouragement can boost his morale. So I want to think that people are not also sponsoring most of these negative moves and trend against the Senate president, because of course I know during the period of the Senate campaign, there were a lot of people who never wanted him. There are a lot of resources, there are a lot of campaign of calumny that was, dissipated against him. But I think it's one time that the South man is coming to be a Senate president again after a long time. So I think this man from the South should be allowed to finish his job very well. And I like to say that in any area that the Senate president, you are not doing well, improve on it so that Nigerians will have more confidence and more trust in your leadership.